Hello and welcome back to the plot. It is another really blustery day and the wind is really blowing. I don't think the microphone is even good enough to block out all the wind noise, so I do apologise. I am doing my best. It is June the 10th and officially 7 days ago was my 1 month anniversary on the plot. So I did take a few little snippets of footage on the actual 1 month anniversary, but this is technically the 1 month allotment plot tour. Before I give you a quick tour of the plot, I have been away this weekend. I had an amazing time in London with my friend Saren. A lot of you will know who Saren is already because she is the one that recommended me to a lot of people, and you will come over. So thank you so much. You've absolutely made my weekend. We went to Kew Gardens and we had an absolutely amazing time. It was so gorgeous. We chose the perfect time to go. All the flowers were in bloom and looked absolutely stunning. The water lilies were glorious, and we took so many photos but also didn't take enough. We went to the edible garden and got so much inspiration for our own allotments, and what I particularly enjoyed seeing was how they're mixing up edibles and ornamentals and how the beds are just crammed full of stuff and it just gave me so much inspiration for my own allotment and how I'm going to lay out my own beds. I also absolutely love the roses. I didn't think I would. I'm not really a big rose fan, but they look absolutely stunning, and so I might just have to think about what rose I could possibly have on my plot. And also all the plants that were growing up the structures just gave me heaps of inspiration. I absolutely need obelisks on my plot and I need archways. I need to really make use of vertical space, and I think you can just create some really beautiful beds by mixing up the heights of all the plants. So I got loads of inspiration and had a fantastic time. Every time I go to Kew Gardens is brilliant. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite places. But this one was particularly special because I got to do it with Saren. So thank you so much, Saren. I had a great time. I hope you did too. So let's get on with the 1 month allotment plot tour. Here is the back of the plot. I don't show this very often, but I'm going to do the entire thing, so I want to show everything. This is the compost bins that were here before, and since I have taken out the middle one, my mum emptied it out of really good compost, and I've taken out the wooden panel and weeded it all and laid down this cardboard to try and help control the weeds. So that's looking really nice, and I'm thinking this might be my new entrance to the plot, but I haven't quite got around to designing that yet. The greenhouse is just as much of a mess as it was, but it has been levelled and most of the glass panes that were broken have been replaced, and that is certainly a work in progress. Inside the greenhouse I have plants which have been gifted to me by allotment neighbours. Allotment neighbours. This is an aubergine which has already got its first flower. I also have a couple of tomatoes, a chilli, a pepper, and I got back from the weekend to find a butternut squash had been put into my greenhouse. So that's really exciting. So this is the start of my indoor plot space, but you can see it's certainly still very much a work in progress. But they needed to get in here, otherwise they wouldn't be growing. So yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect and amazing and tidy in order to start growing something. So I hope that inspires someone who maybe hasn't quite got all of their stuff ready, because it definitely can be done. My patio area is coming along really nicely. The sweet peas are growing up really well, the nasturtiums are growing, and the ground cover plants seem to have taken really well. They haven't withered or anything, so that's a really, really great sign that I can get more in. And hopefully try and control these weeds because they are already very much starting to come up. I have weeded all of this area, but the annual weeds are just very prolific and certainly are going to be something I need to keep on top of. It's going to be a case of constantly weeding, hoeing sort of little areas often once I've done all of the really big weeding. So yeah, that's going to be something that's going to take up a lot of time, I think forever. But I am really happy with how it's looking overall. And the sweet peas are growing up lovely and they have started to produce some flowers. And what I'm doing is cutting those off to encourage the plant to put more effort into actually growing up, because I do want it to be covering the entire IBC tank. And they are getting there, but still a little bit of a way to go. My potatoes have grown so much and I am so thrilled. These were, I think, the first thing I put into the ground on the second or third day. So they've done really amazing. I've been earthing them up and they keep growing. They look really healthy, they're really bushy, they're really lush. There's no signs of stress or damage to them, so I am absolutely over the moon with these. They're Charlotte potatoes, so I will be expecting to see a sort of lilac-y flower when they do go into flower, but they're not there yet. Actually, I think I've just seen a possible flower bud. I think that might be the beginnings of flower buds. That's so exciting! Wow. Anyways, I'm very happy with my potatoes. The veg beds are looking really good. They do look very bare, but they have things growing in them, and the things that are in them actually look fairly happy. So my courgettes have actually started to get little courgettes on them, and there are some flower buds forming. The cosmos have opened up and they look absolutely stunning. I really hope the seed that I've thrown in takes, and I'll get a few more cosmos coming up in here because cosmos are absolutely one of my favourite flowers and I need far more on the plot. The bean bed is looking really good. The beans are growing and they look fairly healthy, except for the dwarf French bean, which looks a little bit anemic. But I'm going to move that, and I do have some more dwarf French beans to go in. So hopefully when it's with its friends, it will look a bit better. I've got the chard in on this side, and that's doing perfectly well. It looks very healthy. I've never had chard before, but I've been told that it's really good in stir fries, and I absolutely love stir fries. So I'm really excited to harvest that, and it's a sort of cut and come again situation. So I'll just be able to harvest it and it'll just keep growing. So that's a really great thing to have on the plot. And I sowed some radish, and they have started to come out. That's what these big leaves are. That is the tiniest ladybird. So cute. So the fact that the radish are growing is a good sign. They're a really quick, simple crop to grow. They're great to throw in spaces where you've got longer growing crops because they harvest in about 4 to 6 weeks depending on what time of year you plant them. So yeah, basically all the spaces I'll have eventually will just be full of radish. The tomatoes are also looking really good. I've got a few flowers coming up, and the nasturtiums also are looking really well established. I need to get some supports for the tomatoes in, because once they get up to a certain height, they're going to get really top heavy and they're going to need something to hold them up, especially in this wind. Although the wind will certainly be helping to strengthen their stems, which is always a positive, but I still think they're going to need some intervention from me if I actually want to get any tomatoes harvested this year. And I haven't done anything to the fourth bed yet, except covered it. So hopefully it'll be ready for when I am ready to carry on with that one. But that'll be for my brassicas once it's ready to go in. I do have a Brussels sprout growing at home, waiting to come to the plot. This is my strawberry bed, and my super slapdash strawberry cage has done so well. It has really exceeded my expectations in every sense. I wasn't expecting it to even be standing the day after I made it, let alone all this time. And I have had so many strawberries, which I certainly wouldn't have had if I had done nothing to the strawberry bed. So if I'd done no covering whatsoever, I would not have got the harvest that I have been having. So even though it's not perfect, and even though I have still lost some strawberries, I have been enjoying multiple harvests from this bed, and it's been so delightful. I absolutely need more strawberries next year. I will be making a far more robust and functional strawberry cage once I have decided on the strawberries' permanent position. And then there is the back of the plot. I say the back of the plot, this is basically half of it. I am really glad I didn't cut down all of the weeds when I first arrived, because I wouldn't have seen this. And it may look messy, and it's certainly going to give me a lot more work to do now. But it is covered in bees. It is full of grasshoppers and ladybirds and all sorts of wonderful, wonderful creatures. I just can't get over how stunning it looks. I don't like red flowers, but I can appreciate how gorgeous this is, and the bees are absolutely going nuts for it. So yeah, I'm really, really glad I didn't cut it all down. It has given me a huge amount of work to do though, because all of these weeds have come up in the last 2 weeks or so. There are some really lethal looking thistles, which I'm not excited to take out because they are really spiky and they go straight through my gloves. So I've got some thick leather gloves, which I'm hoping are going to be robust enough to deal with these monsters. It is a shame because I know thistle flowers are lovely. They're a beautiful colour which matches my colour scheme, and bees will go, again, absolutely nuts for them. But they are a little bit too aggressive for me and my plot, so I do need to take those out. However, there are some other really, really pretty little plants in this area which have only just come out. So this apparently is called Weasel's Snout, and it's related to the snapdragon. It reminded me a bit of the toadflax, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty and dainty. So there's quite a few of those dotted around this area, and I'm just going to try and save as many as I can, and hopefully they will establish themselves. I don't mind if they grow up because they will fit right in with my plans for this area of having a wild meadow space and cut flower bed. I've also got this really pretty mallow. Again, a lovely gorgeous purple flower, and I really love these leaves. They're a really satisfying leaf shape to me, so I think that's the only one I've seen so far, so I'll probably weed around that as well. But yeah, it's just full of poppies. I've never seen so many poppies in my life, and there's so many still to come out as well. Every day there's just a new flush of poppies, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And then this is one of the latest projects, which is the designated flower bed. And this is where I'm putting stuff just to see how things grow, and also to make a concerted effort to look after the apple tree, which I think it actually looks a lot healthier than it did. So that's probably a combination of having some good soil, having the weeds removed from around its base, and also the rain that we've had recently. So yeah, that's looking really great. everything looks like it's taken really well. The foxgloves look a bit sad, but that is because they are going over now. So hopefully I'll get some self-seeded foxgloves next year. And I have the cosmos coming out as well, which just look so lovely. Here is my heap. Um, this is the official back of the plot, which is being abandoned for the time being. But if you remember at the beginning when I first got my plot, it was really ramo with all sorts down the back here, and it was pushing against the neighbour's fence, and the allotment people really kindly arranged for someone to come and clear this bit for me. So that was one job I didn't have to do, but I'm incredibly grateful for the fact that it was done. So I need to address this monstrosity of a compost bin. It's just full of bindweed, not bindweed, sticky weed. So none of that is going to be any good. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to have compost heap down here anyway in my grand plans. The fennel is looking sensational. Starting to get flower buds, I think. I think that's what this is. I've never grown fennel before, but I'm really excited that it's here. I actually really like fennel, but I've never cooked with it. So I'm going to learn how to use that in my own cooking. But yeah, that is what my allotment looks like after 1 month. And it's changed so much in that time. It's really difficult because I got my plot at the beginning of May, which is when most people's allotments and gardens seem to be starting to like come into their own, and it's been tricky to not compare myself with my neighbours who have got all these amazing crops already. But I'm just focusing on my own little space and taking things one project at a time and just really enjoying the process. So there it is. A realistic look at what a plot might look like after 1 month. And that's not even a month of being here every day. That's maybe being here 3 days a week and then some evenings. So I'm really, really happy with how it's gone. I'm very proud of myself for one, going for it, and two, for sticking to it. It is no mean feat. This is a lot of work, and in the videos I can speed it up and do time lapses and cut out a bunch of stuff. In real time it takes hours and days of work to transform a tiny spot. So I hope I am conveying how much work has actually gone into this in such a short space of time. But while it might not look much, it is really worth celebrating all of those little achievements that I've done already, and already having things like strawberry harvests to enjoy as a direct result of something that I've done. So putting that strawberry cage on was a whole afternoon project, and I'm now getting baskets of strawberries to enjoy. So it's all worth it, and it's definitely worth celebrating. So I'm really glad that there are so many people here cheering me on and celebrating along with me. So thank you so much. It really blows me away how many people there are commenting all your lovely comments and saying how you're cheering me on. So thank you so, so much. It's helping me hugely to stay motivated and to keep on with the YouTube filming as well, because it is a lot of work. Aside from having an allotment plot, having a YouTube channel is a whole other full-time job. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough. It's been a crazy 1 month. So here's to the next month and many, many more to follow. All that's left to say is thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay calm and carry on growing. Bye!